Is our secret guest Scott Baio?
Are you? No, it is not. Are you ready, Ethan?
I'm so
I'll
ready.
Do the introduction now. Joining the show is Danbury City Council member Roberto Alves. Roberto, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Ethan. Good morning, Lou. I think the special guesting let people in with anticipation, and then you're throwing names out. Ethan, sorry, I'm not Bono, not Ringo, definitely not Scott Baio.
Yeah, but you have an important announcement to make, which is why we wanted to have you on.
Yeah, I do. I think this is exciting news. Lou, I reached out to you, and I asked if we can get together and just get on the platform here. And my family and I, we thought long and hard, opportunities arose, and I wanted to say here on your show first, publicly to Danbury, the whole city, that I'm formally announcing my candidacy for mayor of Danbury, Connecticut.
Look at that, huh?
We got it first.
Look at this.
We got it first, we win.
We got it first, we win. We are the winners. I just clicked publish on the article. You can't catch me. I'm winning. So that's to our competition. Now, enough about us.
Yeah.
Tell us why you decided. Is it because I suggested that you should run for mayor? So see, I said enough about us, and then I go right back to me.
Right.
No, but why was this important? Why do you think it's the right time for you, your family, and the city of Danbury?
Look, let's be honest here. I think your show, had a lot to do with it too. Obviously, there's things that led up to it. It wasn't just because I was on your show, but there were calls afterwards. I wasn't thinking about this when I was on your show. Certain circumstances happened that made the path for me clearer and enough for me to talk to my wife, because this is a lot for the whole family. But at the end of the day, we love this city. Lou, the first time I met you outside of Rogers Park, it was a polling place on Election Day. The conversation just went off into all the great things about Danbury, the potential, and who we are. My wife and I are invested in this city. We both work for Danbury employers. We obviously live here. We're homeowners here. We have children here who are in the public school systems. We are here because we want to be. And the deal we made with ourselves before, when we were thinking about children, was that we want to stay in Danbury, but if we stay, we're going to go, we're going to dive in head first in helping and doing what we can to promote this community and put our ideas out there. It's time for folks of my generation, younger, I hope, to really get involved in this city. And it's just time for some new vision, a new energy, and this is a perfect opportunity. There's a lot of things that have been done well over the last 20 years. We can't deny that. But there's a lot of things that could have been done differently that we need to do and we need to address. And I feel I'm the right person to do that at the right time. Danbury is a dynamic community. We have people from all over the world. We have folks who've been here for generations, like my wife's family. My wife, Robin Alves, her family has been here for a long time. We bought her grandfather's house. Again, it's how much we care about this place and the legacy of family in Danbury. Her grandfather actually served for the city. He was the treasurer under Don Boughton in the 70s. So we're just keeping up the tradition. When you live in a community, you try. Not everybody has the capacity, the time, sometimes the money to, help out with philanthropy or anything like that. You do what you can. And this is how we choose to give back. Some people volunteer. This is our volunteering. We just want to help. We want to promote this beautiful city with so much potential. And the time is now. It's just, we want to do this not just for families like us, but for all the families. We want to make this a place where grandparents can grow up. Where grandparents can retire, but stay here and watch their grandkids grow up because their their families want to be here. The school systems are somewhere where folks aren't moving away, so the whole family can stay together, because that means a lot.
Danbury City Council member Roberto Alves just announced on the Ethan and Lou show for the first time that he will seek the office of mayor in the city of Danbury.
When is the next election for mayor?
It's in November, so it's January, and I'll be out there working like it's September, October. That's how I do. I'm always moving, right? I think if anybody follows me on social media, I have these hashtags that just kind of stuck because I'm always on the go. I'm always at an event. I'm always doing something. So this is how it starts. It starts now, and we roll up our sleeves and we get to work.
I just want to make sure that you are aware. We talked to Mayor Joe Cavo earlier this morning, and he has no time to do anything.
You give it a warning, right?
Well, I think I think he knows, what work is involved. He has no time. Joe has no time to do anything else except be the mayor of Danbury because there's so much to do. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, if I wasn't ready for this and if my family wasn't supporting, I wouldn't be on with you guys right now.
That's what I think.
I think anybody knows the level of dedication it takes to run a city. You're never off. You're always the mayor. You're not going to go to the store to buy, there's a snowstorm coming. You're not going to go get your milk and bread, and you're not going to not be the mayor. I'm not going to be able to go. My wife wants some ice cream. You're not going to go down a double twister at 10 at night and not be the mayor. You're always working, and then there's just always something to do on top of that. So it takes somebody who's got that energy and that drive. If there's anything I have, is energy and drive.
Roberto Alves joining the show. Danbury City Council member just announced on our show exclusively that he's running for mayor of the city of Danbury. What are the issues? I know when we talk to people all the time, the issues that are brought up to us about the city of Danbury that they'd like to see changed. What do you hear most from people?
So I've been doing this I've been involved in politics for a little over 4 years. Some of those on the outside, as an elected official, I won my race in 19. So you talk to, thousands and thousands of people, and, what you hear are, hey, Danbury is a great place to live, but there are things that can be done differently. You see one that you hear about in the news and you read about a lot is some challenges in the school systems that a lot of them face. And it's infrastructure, of course. Folks talk about, redevelopment and vision, so things like that. But it's also, how can you have a plan that addresses all of them? Because they're all part of the same issue, right? It's just about what's the future and what's the vision for Danbury. I like to see a place that's competing with other cities in Connecticut that are just as successful, if not more, than Danbury. You look at the Stanfords, you look at the Norwalks, you look at the type of businesses that are coming in. We just had a huge win with the Nuvance healthcare system, deciding to move into Danbury, into the old Union Carbide. I applaud all those involved with making that decision. Those are high-paying jobs coming in. We need more things like that. We have a lot of ribbon cuttings in the last 20 years. That's great. But we need ribbon cuttings now that bring in high-paying jobs as well. We want to be a community that has, folks from all levels. We want to have affordable housing. We want to have, folks who have disposable income to spend in our restaurants as well. We want it all, and we can have that happen organically as well. But the first thing to do to attract more businesses and families to moving in, and not families, kind of like me and my wife and kids who look at other school systems, is invest in our school system. Let's make that better. Let's, address it. We don't have to do it all at once, because one of the things Danbury has done well, and we just can't deny that, is we're an affordable place to live. But there's a way to do that. There's a way to invest in our schools and keep Danbury as affordable as it is now. And we have to address certain things. I am looking out the window of my house right now, and we see the condition of our roads. We have a plan for that in the city. I just don't think it's fast enough. You have people who have seen either the same potholes or the same lack of I want to say it's not efficiency, but just energy. Again, back to that energy to just get things done as fast as possible, as efficiently as possible. There's no excuse for some of our roads to be in the shape they are in. There's no excuse for some of our roads to be as clogged as they are. There's been a lot of planning. There's not been a development with a lack of planning. We just can't have that anymore. We got to come to the table and bring about a new vision.
I love that you decided to run, because this was my idea, and it feeds into the idea that I am secretly running the city of Danbury, because the plan was that we form an alliance. You run for the Democrats, I run for the Republicans, and then we just see what happens. And either way, I'm puppeteering. People are now going to believe that, even though it's not true.
You're going to make this about you.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful forming an alliance with me. This is the kind of trouble that you get in. People are going to what's with this clown that you're talking to?
If I didn't know any better, Roberto, I would say that your campaign just began.
Well, and that's what it did, Ethan. I need you. I don't know how much pull you have there with Lou, but we got to keep him under control there, because he can snowball this thing into something else and then win the race right under me.
And what happens now with the Democrats? Now, you wouldn't have done this if you didn't feel like you had support, the backing of some major players in the Democratic Party. Do you? And who else do you think might run from the Democratic ticket? Because we don't know about Joe, but Joe hasn't made any commitments to running to re-seek the office after he finishes out Boughton's term, so we can't speak for them. But I would imagine the Republicans would back him if he decides to go that way. What about the Democrats?
No, it's a great question. Yeah, of course, there is support out there, and we'll roll that out as we get the permissions to do that. There's some people who are definitely very supportive, encouraging, ones who called me. They got me to where I am, Lou, to make the decision, of course. I am not aware of anybody else who may come out, but this is an election. I mean, everybody's allowed to think about it. There are certain steps you got to take, and I just know that it was the right time for me to make my decision, me to make my announcement to get started, the hard work of fundraising and campaigning. So I can only make my decision for myself. But yeah, of course, I do have some support from, quote unquote players, right? Like you're saying. As far as I know today, we don't have anybody else who is considering running at this point, but that could change.
At the moment, you're running unopposed, so look, things are looking up.
A lot of months left.
Yeah. I got to keep you out of the race. Now
please.
You're invested in this, whether you like it or not. It was your idea. We'll give you that. Even if that makes them happy, Lou, this was your idea. Thank you.
Little things make me happy. Just listen, I'm going to be happy all day knowing that every one of our so-called competitors has to look at my story all day, just outperforming theirs because they were late to the table.
Once again, you brought it back to you.
Correct, sir. Roberto, congratulations on the decision, and we wish you the best of luck, and we'll follow your story as we go along.
We'll be talking to you.
Oh, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Roberto.
Thanks, Roberto.
Take care. Bye-bye, and good luck.